Ty Coleman, here we are again.
Here we are, man. Long time, bro.
Reason I wanted to do this, you and I wrote this song together 20 years ago, right?
20 years.
So it was the year 2000.
Wow.
We were introduced by a mutual friend that wanted us to write together, but
Exactly.
we just kind of during the course of the hang, whenever you're writing with somebody, you just kind of want to get a sense of what their world is like, and we were just hanging, just talking about stuff, and you told me the story that inspired this song, and I just remember being shocked. Do you know what I mean? But here's the thing, like a lot of people today, or in the last few weeks, are just waking up to there's been a lot of injustice over the years, right? And so 20 years ago, you're telling me this story, and I was like a lot of people like, what? Yeah. That happens still? But man, tell me that story again, just so because I've been telling your story for 20 years, like playing this song, right?
Well, honestly, man, from the beginning, we was paired together really because I was talking to my management, and I named you as one of my favorite writers. I remember the pressure was crazy, and I felt like, what do I write about with Edwin? But I wanted to know what moved you as a person. And I just remember before I got into the story about this song, when I mentioned that my city still had segregated proms, your reaction was so
your segregated proms.
Yeah.
And I was like, what? Because a lot of people, man, I was sitting around, I was walking around going, well, that was a long time ago. People aren't like that anymore. But yeah.
And wake up call, man, seriously. And I was sharing with them, we used to play in this country bar, me and my friend, and first of all, everybody would get a glass and we'd get the styrofoam, and then it went a little further till one night we decided to just go sit down and we're just gonna sit down and enjoy the atmosphere, and it went from 0 to 100 real quick, man. And it was a lot of violence that night, and we went through that, and this wasn't years ago. This was
This was today.
Yeah, exactly.
You know what I'm saying?
Exactly. I'm from a place in South Georgia where, stuff like that is common. It's very common, and it's a lot of corruption, it's a lot of social injustice, and it's swept under the rug, So I was happy to do this song to give a voice to people and wake the world up about what's going on, and also to pay homage to those who went through that before us, and because I'm sure that me and my friend weren't the first ones to experience something like that.
No.
So, but I thank you for lending your heart to that song the way you did, and standing in that place. And, when I was telling you the story and I saw how moved you were by what we went through, I knew that this is what we need to talk about. And I was sharing it with my mother, and I said, Mom, I was angry about what happened, but here was this white guy madder than me. But honestly, man, you've been the same guy, man. You've been the same guy, man, through the years, and at this place, I say to the majority, as we are the minority here, we need the majority to stand and speak, and in order for this voice to be heard. And so I thank you.
Hey, man,
my friend, I appreciate it.
This moment in time is about fairness.
It
right?
is.
And I was so mad back then when you told me the story, because we had experienced some of that with a band member of mine too.
I remember
and I was so
that.
frustrated.
Yeah.
I was so frustrated because I just can't for the life of me understand how we can't just be fair and honor each other and all that. And times are changing, man. Here we are. I'm optimistic.
I'm optimistic as well. We just need more people to open their hearts and move forward. Let's let the world move forward. I just on the way up, man, I seen a guy that had a problem with the phrase, Black Lives Matter. And I said, man, this phrase is not Black Lives only.
Yeah.
Black Lives over everybody. It's matter. Can we matter?
Right. And
we just want to matter.
What I've been telling, everybody's trying to win the conversation. Like, I don't want to win. I'm not trying to win.
Exactly.
All I want to do is find the truth. And the truth is, we all matter, and we gotta all matter to each other, right?
The goal is equality.
That's it. That's exactly what it is.
That's the goal.
And that's what I was mad about 20 years ago, and I'm still mad. But let's do this. Thank you.
No doubt, my friend.
Footsteps from that Sunday march faded out into the dark. The melody blows in to ease the pain. 2,000 years and we're still here, fighting over the same old fear. The muddy steps of hate can't stand this rain.
So I'll stand up on this stage as if it was my altar, and I'll face all the rage, and no, I will not falter. If I'm good enough to play, then I'm good enough to stay in your heart. Ooh, oh yeah.
Mat on the floor says welcome. Sign on the door says no. Says no colors allowed unless you're playing in the show. Well, now I've never seen the color except the ones up in the sky. When I see this kind of hatred, I die a little inside.
So I'll stand up on this stage as if it was my altar, and I'll face all the rage, and no, I will not falter. If I'm good enough to play, then I'm good enough to stay. But when you finish your song, boy, you gotta be on your way. If I'm good enough to play, then I'm good enough to stay in your heart. Oh, oh,
oh. And this one's for the Godfather, Duke Ella and the Count, and for all those who fought their way here, no matter the amount.
No matter the amount.
All of God's children walking through dumpsters in the back had to finish the show and leave just because the skin was black.
Well, they stood up on the stage as if it was their altar, and they faced down all the rage, and no, they did not falter. They were good enough to play, but not good enough to stay. And when they finished their song, boy, they had to be on their way. They were good enough to play, and somehow they've always stayed in our heart. Oh,
yeah. If I'm good enough to play, then we've got to find the space in our heart.